Welcome back to Mafia, where you play as an up-and-coming mobster, trying to climb the ranks of the Mafia family. In the last episode, we made a name for ourselves by eliminating a rival gang in the city. Now that we've eliminated all competition, it's time to turn our attention to the one thing that truly matters: money. There is a lot of it to be earned in this city, but there are also plenty of people who want it. As the Don's right-hand man, it's our job to make sure the family's interests are protected. Before we can get into racketeering, however, we need to secure the city. We have eliminated the other gangs, but the police are still a very real threat to our operations. We start off by heading to the garage and purchasing 2 new vehicles. Now that we're working directly for the family, we deserve better wheels. Since we are still wanted by the police, we decided to go with 2 bulletproof cars, 1 sedan and 1 SUV. These will serve us well as we take on more high-value targets. With our new toys purchased, we hit the streets of Miami to eliminate some cops who have been harassing our family business. This isn't exactly legal, but then again, we never said we were above board. To make sure we stay out of trouble with the law, we use our connections within the family to clear our warrants. While we might not have the money just yet to pay off every cop in the city, we do know which ones we can trust. Our first target is Lieutenant Cuevas, a cop who has been hassling our crew since we arrived in the city. Using our informant, we learned that he frequents a certain bar after his shift, so we figured we'd pay him a little visit. As Cuevas sits at the bar, we wait until he is distracted before slipping into the restroom. This is where we make our move. One of our guys takes position near the exit, while the other stays in the bathroom with me. As Cuevas exits the restroom, we make our presence known. And as he turns around, there is nothing left to do but watch as our goons waste him. With Cuevas taken care of, we head back to the car and plan our next move. Our informant tells us that Captain Ramirez is another cop who could use retirement. He can be found cruising the streets in his cruiser. This makes tracking him down a little easier, but finding the right moment to make our move is more difficult. After driving around the city for a bit, we find Ramirez alone in his car. We pull up beside him and tell him to get out of his car with his hands up. Now this is going to be messy. One of our guys opens fire on Ramirez, riddling his car with bullets. Once he goes down, we finish the job with a few more shots to the head. With that, we are done for now. There are still plenty of cops in the city who would like to see us behind bars, but now they know what happens to those who oppose the family. Now that we've eliminated the biggest threat to our operations, it's time to start making some money. To get our criminal empire started, we need to find some businesses to extort. We've heard that Sal, one of the family's underbosses, has a list of businesses that would be perfect for us to start with. We meet up with him in his warehouse, and he briefs us on our first target: big-time video games. According to Sal, this is a good place to start since the owner is a low-level associate of the Gambino crime family. If word gets out that we're shaking down businesses, the last thing we need is the Gambino family to interfere. With that, we got our marching orders. On our way to the shop, we decide to scout it out from the air. We fly the helicopter over the store and check to see if there are any cops in the area. I leave the boys outside while I go in to talk to the manager. As I enter the store, I spot the manager in the back and approach him slowly. I put my foot in the door to prevent anyone else from coming out and ask him to come with me. Once outside, the manager asks what we want, and I tell him it's time for him to join the family. Of course, this isn't really optional, and I let him know that. I tell him that he'll be paying us $500 per week to protect his store from now on, and he doesn't seem too happy about it. I tell him it's just a small price to pay for the services we provide, but he tries to argue. I cut him off and tell him that we'll be taking half of his profits from now on. This seems to be a sticking point, but there isn't much he can do about it. We'll shake him down for a few more items and then head back to the car to count our earnings. With our first successful shakedown complete, it's time to move on to the next one. Sal tells us that Dino's Pizzeria is our next target. Dino himself is a capo in the Lucchese crime family, so this should be a little more difficult than our last shakedown. On the way there, we do a flyover to make sure the coast is clear. It looks like it is, so we land and head inside. Dino's Pizza is a popular place in town, and there are already several families dining here. I wait until everyone is seated before approaching the manager and telling him to follow me. Once we're outside, I explain the situation to him, and he argues that he'll lose his job if he pays us. I tell him that whoa, and be a problem since he whoa, and be working for the boss anymore. I hear commotion from inside the restaurant and look back to see a group of bikers walk out. I wasn't aware that this was a hangout for motorcycle clubs, but it's clear that they aren't happy about what's going on. I try to calm them down, but they aren't having it. I tell them it's not their problem, but the leader tells me differently. He says that he and his men are going to beat us up if we don't leave. I'm not going to argue with him, so I tell him that maybe this is a bad idea. He tells me that it is, and sends his men to surround us. Oh, this is definitely going to be a challenge. As the bikers close in on us, we open fire, dropping several of them to the ground. The leader fires back, but he's no match for us. We return fire, ending his threat for good. With the bikers eliminated, we are free to shake down the pizzeria without interference. We collect our protection money and head back to the car to count our earnings. As we drive around the city looking for our next target, we pass by Dino's Pizzeria, only to see it engulfed in flames. It's obvious that someone knows who we are and wants to send a message. This is going to make things difficult, but there is still money to be made in this city. We just need to be more careful. We arrive at Ava's mansion to meet with the Don. He is pleased with our progress so far, but warns us that there is still a lot of work to be done. The city is still a dangerous place, and there are always threats from other families. To make sure we are prepared for anything, he gives us 2 new weapons, the Desert Eagle and the sniper rifle. These will serve us well as we continue to expand our criminal empire. He also gives us a new mission, to eliminate the remaining cops in the city. This will ensure that we can operate without interference from the police, and that no one will stand in our way as we climb the ranks of the Mafia. The cops are important, but there is still money to be made in this city. The Don tells us to keep up the good work, and that he will be watching us closely. With our new mission in mind, we head back to the garage to prepare for our next hit. The city is still a dangerous place, but we are more than ready for whatever challenges come our way. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a comment below letting us know what you think. We're excited to bring you more Mafia action in the next episode, so stay tuned for more updates. Till then, take care and remember, family comes first.